What's up, guys, and welcome to Murfsworld. Hope you've had a lovely week. I've had a really good week. Saw a lot of friends and family. I've had a great, lovely time. But in between that time, I've had to watch, a lot of TV series and films. So you don't waste your time on the wrong ones. So let's, without further ado, let's just crack on, yeah? Let's get straight to it and see what I've been watching this week. Aquaman on Sky. Now, this is a DC comic movie, the comic that obviously makes Batman. It's in the same universe. You may have seen the Justice League, which has got obviously Aquaman already in it. This is a standalone movie. They've tried to copy similar to what Marvel have done, really, where they've got the additional standalone films to go with the group films. DC films haven't been great, to be honest with you, compared to Marvel. They've tried to copy it. Marvel's hands down best. But this is probably the best DC film to date. It follows a character called Arthur Curry, who is a sort of a man who lives in the sea. Obviously, it's far-fetched. It's made up as sci-fi fantasy. It's not real, but it's actually a really enjoyable film. It's a family-friendly film. I think it's rated about 12. It's got plenty of laughs, plenty of action, plenty of fish. I love fish. Captain Birdseye would probably enjoy this more of a pornography, really. But for normal people, it's just a good old-fashioned action kind of comedy film, a family film. Really would recommend it, actually. It's not going to win an Oscar, but if you're stuck something to watch, definitely worth a watch. So check that one out. On Netflix, a TV series known as Power is back. Power was actually created by none other than 50 Cent, and he is also plays a character in this. Now, the first series of Power, I thought, is really badly acted, but the story is really good. Well, it's not really badly acted. I don't want to be disrespectful to the actors there, but the writing could have been better. Let's put it that way. But it still gripped me, and I actually got into it through friends at work, and now we all talk about it all the time. We're hooked on it. It's back now, series 6. If you haven't seen it, catch up on it. It's about a guy called James St. Patrick, also known as Ghost, and his best friend Tommy has a terrible impression. And what it is, James basically bought a nightclub with money that he's laundering from his drug business. So he's like a bit of a kingpin with sort of the drugs trade. Him and his best friend Tommy, and they're childhood friends. So you've got 3 sections of the story. You've got the nightclub side of things, where you've got the corruption and business, things like that. Then you've got his actual personal life, where his wife, and then he meets the love of his life, comes back into his life. And then in the middle of it, obviously, you've got the drug side, which, sort of the gangsters, things like that. It's fascinating. Also, throw into the mix a load of sex scenes and loads of music. Basically, every episode is like a bit of story, sex scene with some music, some story, sex scene, music. What more do you want? It's absolutely brilliant. I'm really excited to see it. I'm only 1 episode into the new series so far. Check it out if you haven't already. Can't recommend it enough. I absolutely love that show. Everybody's talking about it. Hunter Killer on Netflix. It's starring Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman, the legend himself. It's about an American sort of submarine boss captain, I don't know what they're called, and they've been in the services, and he's basically got to rescue the Russian Prime Minister or Russian President. Obviously not the real one, not Vlad, but it's obviously somebody meant to be like Vladimir Putin. It's quite good. If you like Designated Survivor, the TV series, it's kind of like a little bit like that. It's a lot in the war room in America, and then you've got obviously under the water the actual characters, with the submarines. It's it's a bit more far-fetched. It's not really like a sort of a drama. It's not like you want the truth, you can handle the truth. It's not that kind of level of war film, but it's more sort of Fast and the Furious level of war film. And in fact, I think the people who produced Fast and the Furious were involved in the production of this movie, and also the people who did Olympus Has Fallen. So it's along those lines, It's a bit like when you watch a Jason Statham film, it's going to be a bit actiony, nothing too much. It's that level. So if you're looking for an easygoing movie this week, it's quite enjoyable, a little bit of tension in it. Yeah, I'd recommend it. So I did enjoy that movie. Definitely worth a watch. Thumbs up from me on that one. On BBC this week, Peaky Blinders. It's actually come back onto the television at the moment. If you haven't seen it before, I believe you can watch the older series 1 to 4 on Netflix, and possibly iPlayer, I'm not sure, but definitely on Netflix. Saw them this morning. If you haven't seen it, it's set in the first series starts in 1990. It's about a family, the Shelby family. Tommy Shelby, the sort of the leader of them, played by Cillian Murphy, who's absolutely fantastic actor. Oh God, this series is great. As I say, it took me a long time to get around to watching it. When I started watching it, I was hooked. And the soundtrack to it is excellent. It's kind of like a modern soundtrack Set in the early 1900s or 1990. First series is actually a true story. Well, loosely a true story. They've flipped some of the family names around, but a gentleman I know from Birmingham area, he actually told me it's actually all true, the first series, just a few little details have changed. The reason they're called the Peaky Blinders as well, by the way, these obviously they're peaky hats, and they have little razor blades in them. When they fight, they cross people's eyes and they blind them. So they call them Peaky Blinders. It's a little fact for you there as well. Educational as well as handsome. This series, if you haven't watched it, get into it. It's if you like gangsters, mobsters, things like that, and a bit of history as well. It's really worth checking out, especially in the UK, because obviously it's a bit of British history. In the second series, well, if you're catching up, there's one of the best British actors as well. Everyone loves him. Can't remember his name now. Tom Hardy, you jerk. Don't hurt me, big man. Oi, oi. Yeah, so check it out. It's back on the BBC. I don't know whether to wait and I've watched a couple of episodes now. Wait for the whole, the whole series to be ready and binge watch it. But it's a great series. If you haven't seen it, you should have. Go check it out now. So as always, appreciate your view. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much. See you next week, every Thursday, Murfsworld for you. Namaste.